In the meeting room behind him, though, quite the opposite, a most sober dwarf with an unnatural stillness about him. A monk of some kind.
I know you. You were at the academy during the slaughter of the students. You were there when the assassins came.
Alright, Grimgnaw, for hire. Asking how he knew about the academy. I am Grimgnaw, a monk of the Order of the Long Death. The grisly account of the academy is no great secret, Lilly. Not to those who seek such things out. Tell me, as you stood amidst the blood-soaked corpses of your fellow students, did you gaze upon the face of death? Did you look into his cold eyes and feel his icy touch upon your soul? I think she's just going to simply ignore that. She's curious, though, what skills a monk of the Order of the Long Death possess. I am a disciple of torment and a messenger of death, the Silent Lord. I bring the absolution of pain and anguish to my enemies to prepare them for a brutal and purifying end. In truth, my skills are not so different from any soldier or hired blade, though I embrace the beauty and perfection of my enemy's death with the zeal others often lack. Yeah, I think she's curious what he's doing in Neverwinter. There's a foul taint upon the city. Death, true, permanent death, is perfect in its absolute finality. Pain, suffering, anguish, torture, these are the tools that prepare us for my master's soothing embrace. But this plague is unnatural. Its victims never pass to embrace of the Silent Lord. The wailing death is a blight upon the world that must be ended. So far, I've uncovered no answers on my own that might help end this epidemic, though I'm eager to search the beggar's nest. Yeah, I think she's curious, why the beggar's nest? I've heard rumors that in the blighted district, zombies walk the streets. Few things are so reviled by my order as the abomination of the undead. It would be reasonable to imagine there's some connection between the undead and the unnatural end of those who succumb to the wailing death. And she's curious why he hasn't investigated himself. Alone, I'm not likely to survive the dangers of the district, and throwing my life away is a foolish way to serve the Silent Lord. My death will come in its appointed time. Alright. Of course, she's curious how much his services might cost. The monks of the Long Death rarely join with those outside our order, but I sense the mark of my master is upon you. Maybe he's sensing a bit of Lilly's divine essence. It's the Lady of Murder. A storm of blood swirls around you. Anguish and death will follow in your wake, just as it did at the academy. Yet there are many whom death will follow in this city. Many who are willing to pay for my services. Alright, 150 gold pieces, though. Yeah. She's not sure she'll ever need his services. Although, I think she would be confident in his loyalty. But, yeah, not at the moment. Should you decide you need an ally in your cause, I'll gladly join you. Death surrounds you, and I'm eager to join in the slaughter you will surely unleash. He seems to know the Lady of Murder without knowing her title. If Lilly were to allow males, say as eunuchs, into the Church of Lilly, Grimgnaw is an example of the demeanor she'd demand. Cold, emotionless, and disciplined. A half-orc barbarian wearing the colors of the Uthgardt Red Tiger tribe, and unlike most half-orcs, with an honorable look about him.
Greetings. I see you are not yet infected by the plague that ravages Neverwinter. Among such suffering and misery, we who are not yet afflicted must be grateful for our health.
Alright, Daelan Red Tiger, also for hire, asking who he is. I am Daelan Red Tiger of the Uthgardt tribes of the Frozen North. But it's been over a year since I left my people and came to Neverwinter. Now I earn my living as a blade for hire. Yeah, I think Lilly's surprised. He sounds quite well spoken for a half-orc. My father was an orc, and the blood of his inhuman race is in my veins. But I was raised by my mother among the tribes of the Uthgardt. Yeah, I'm not sure how much Lilly really knows about the Uthgardt. There was that one book at the academy, but I'm not sure she paid very good attention. There are some in the city who call my people savages and barbarians, this being one of them. But they know nothing of the Uthgardt. We are great warriors and hunters, following the herds and living off the land. Yeah, that sounds like a savage to Lilly. My tribe is noble but small. Among them there was little chance for a young warrior to prove himself or earn a wife. But I am young and strong, and my people are renowned for their skill in battle. Here in Neverwinter I found work on the docks as a guard for the cargo and shipments being transported. The coming of the plague changed everything. The quarantine halted all incoming or outgoing ships. There was no work and no money. I should have left the docks then. Many of the dock workers were afflicted, men I had come to know as friends. I stayed to ease their suffering, but in the end I could do nothing to save them from the wailing death. With my friends dead, there was no reason to stay in the docks. Not with things getting worse. Now I earn a living with my axe as a freelance mercenary. Yeah, I think she'd like to hear about the docks. The quarantine trapped ships in port, swelling the number of pirates and other criminals in the district, men with no honor. And with the city guard focused on the plague, these evil men have seized control of the docks. An Uthgardt warrior knows no fear, but I will not dishonor my tribe. I refuse to serve these men. I will not become a common thug or murderer. Before I left, I heard talk in the district of an auction to be held at Jim Seedy's tavern. Something besides the usual stolen merchandise, illegal goods, and helpless slaves sold at his filthy den of sin. The word spread quickly on the street. Perhaps I could have learned more before I left, but I had no interest in such transactions. I am a warrior, not a smuggler. There's little else I can tell you about the docks, but I know the district is dangerous. If you intend to go there, you'd be wise to take along a hired blade. Yeah, I think she's probably, well, a bit impressed with his speech and manner, but more so with his physique. Looks like a formidable warrior. Though she doesn't need one yet, because she's hoping to go to the Blacklake district. She doesn't need a warrior to deal with nobles. But she would like to know how much his services are. I am no stranger to battle or bloodshed, but I am a warrior with honor. I'll not undertake any sinister mission. Had I desired such work, I could have found employment back at the docks. She'll mention Lady Arabeth, but otherwise it's confidential. I can understand that. If you're working for Arabeth, then I'm certain your mission must be of great importance. Arabeth's reputation is well known throughout the city, so I have no fear your mission will bring dishonor to me. I will work for you, if we can agree upon a fair price. I'm not one to boast of my own abilities, yet the skill and ferocity of the Uthgardt tribes are well known throughout the north. I doubt you will find any other axeman for hire who is my equal. You will have a noble and honorable bearing, so I'll reduce my normal fee, or 150 gold pieces. Doesn't sound like much of a reduction. But yeah, of course, she doesn't need his services now, at least. As you wish. If you need me, you can always find me here. Unless I join up with someone who's needed my skills. Honorable. She'll settle for strong, dumb, and willing. Honorable could be problematic, but he is the biggest brute here. By herself in a private room stands a young redhead in brown leathers, her beauty quite stunning for a human, assuming a posture that suggests arrogance and intrigues Lilly.
Who's this? Some poor soul straggling in off the diseased streets? Are you here to join our ranks and beg for an employer? Or are you actually here to hire someone?
Or, of course, this is Sharwyn, also for hire. So asking who she is. My name is Sharwyn. I call this city my home. I seek adventure and excitement. If you seek the same, you'd be smart to hire me to accompany you. Or, of course, it sounds like she's a local girl. Does that make a difference? I see people I've known my whole life falling to sickness all around me. I'd say that gives me more motivation than most. And incidentally, I am no girl. Yeah, she certainly seems confident. What other way is there to be? Should I be fawning and squeal at the sight of every mouse? Shall I hang onto your shoulder and beg for protection? I know what I want and I seek it out. We could make a fine team, you and I, if you're of a mind. Don't try and deny it. Alright. Lilly, asking what skills she has. I'm a caster of bardic magic, a master of all skills and a teller of the oldest legends. And with or without your help, I intend to achieve my own fame in my time. One day bards will sing their songs about me. I suppose such talk may seem arrogant to you, my lady. If so, I don't particularly care. I've known the path I was on for a long time. I left behind a life of riches to live the life of a bard. Nicola is surprised to hear that. If my own family had its way, I'd be by now comfortably married to a wealthy man I could never respect, bored to tears in my large Blacklake district mansion. How odd a game the fates play. My family lies mostly dead now, and Blacklake is full of frightened fools who bury their heads in the sand and pretend the plague won't touch them. Yeah, I think Lily'd like to hear more about the Blacklake district. It's full near to bursting with rich, frightened nobles who'd rather wall off the district from everyone else and pretend the rest of the city doesn't exist than actually try to help. There are those within the district who are trying to rally the rich to aid the rest of the city, but their cries mostly fall on deaf ears. One day the plague will come to them in force. They shall regret their selfishness. It is perhaps the one place in this city that remains yet orderly and plague-free, which is exactly why Lily wanted to start her investigation there first. Although getting inside its walls may be a bit of a problem. There are some elements of seediness. Perhaps every place you find the rich, you find places where they can indulge their strangest tastes. I understand the local tavern's basement has its distractions. One thing I know for sure, if you intend to go anywhere in Blacklake, you'd best rely on charm rather than muscle. Or maybe bring a companion who knows the terrain. Of course, talking about herself. Yeah, I think Lily's curious how much for her services then. Might you be able to illuminate me as the nature of this mission? Well, for now, it's confidential. Oh, well, have it your way. If you're working for Lady Arabeth, I imagine it's something of great importance. Arabeth is Lord Nash's servant, so your mission is bound to be exciting. Yes, I think I'd rather like to join you, if the price is right. My skills don't come cheaply, however. I'll follow you gladly and to the best of my ability, my lady, provided my price is met. Well, you seem a fair enough woman, a worthy companion. Or 150 gold pieces. Yeah, I don't think Lily wants to appear to be cheap, but she will hire Sharwyn. So offer her the 150 gold. Fair enough, my lady. I'm at your disposal. I will follow you as you require. If you want me to do something different, let me know. Sharwyn, a young woman of at most 20 summers, which would put her birth in the year of the dragon. Appropriate, perhaps, given her fiery hair. Needless to say, she's not shy about her good looks either, often standing with her arms crossed to accentuate her features, admittedly hard to ignore, and with one long leg extended forward, as if to invite the eyes to follow the contours of her leather leggings as high as they dare. At her back is what appears to be a special short bow of sorts, not requiring normal ammunition, and for a neighbor, an exotic two-bladed sword. Lily's impressed she can even carry the weapon, let alone wield it. Otherwise, Lilly couldn't be happier to have a woman of letters serve her. She'll be chronicling the return of the Lady of Murder without even knowing the importance of her task.
Fair enough.
Until her lady's true identity is revealed, at which point she'd of course be given some position of import at Duramore. 3 gold pieces. Lilly suspects she may be making up the part about coming from Blacklake. She is a storyteller after all. Lilly also can't help but smile at Sharwyn's ponytail that seems to constantly bob with every step as if she were prancing like a horse. She's arrogant, all right, but that's a good thing. Lilly will enjoy breaking her, like a mare, into a more agreeable, more docile creature, eager to extol the virtues of her mistress, and to please.